Okay, so today I'm going to be looking at my first ever liminal spaces inspired game, at least as far as I know. And so it's sort of a trend and phenomenon that you see in a lot of YouTube videos that show you like all these kind of images that are meant to be nostalgic or potentially creepy, but also comforting at the same time, right? Like something you would have seen as a kid that you're remembering, or something that you would see in your dreams, or something that feels familiar even if you've never seen it, stuff like that. And they all have these compilations of those with that same song over and over that everybody uses, like In Stupendo is the name of the band. I think I can't remember the name of the song. So it's a trend that you see maybe done to death, but it's kind of a cool idea. And somebody like me who likes immersive kind of environments, you would think I would like that, but maybe it'll be sort of overdone. It's also sort of pseudo inspired by the back rooms, I guess. Just this whole trend in general, not just this game. There's a whole lot of things like this now. So somewhere between the back rooms, liminal spaces, again, all these sort of nostalgic environments, deja vu, even if you haven't actually seen or been there before, stuff that you might feel like you've seen as a kid, stuff that you might have seen in your dreams. All these kind of phenomenon are related. So I'm going to do it as a permadeath first playthrough too, which I don't know if there's even a failure state. So it's always weird to say that, like, oh, it's a permadeath first playthrough, but you can't even die, right? But I invent my own failure state then. And the way it's showing it here makes it seem like all found footage. Like you're going to be looking at some videos on a hard drive that were recovered, right? This is kind of how they're showing it, almost like in, what's that game, the one where you're watching all those videos of that chick, what's it called, whatever, like you're watching her interrogation moments and confessions. I can't remember what it's called. It's gonna be like the credits, I guess. Okay, we don't need to see that. That seems like the actual game. The way that they're presenting this is actually kind of cool. The whole title screen and everything. But I don't want to spoil anything, even with the controls and stuff. Or what? Is it going to be... It's going to actually have my mic control thing in there, the same way that I was doing that a little while ago around Halloween, like where I was trying to play for the first time these mic... What is this? Why would it be on some shitty low setting like that? The fact that, or maybe that kind of lends to the, I don't know, lends to the immersive vibe that, oh, it's deliberately like found footage, so it's going to look shitty on purpose. But the point is that, damn, what is the name of that? Whatever, yeah, I've never played a game directly maybe inspired by this trend, even if obviously other games will fit into it. Like, let me try to think. What is a game that you would feel like Stanley Parable has that vibe to it? Right, which that came out a long time ago. Or like a lot of these office rooms, corridors, a lot of empty spaces that, oh, there could be something lurking there. But that game is so sarcastic that it's, more of a comedy than anything else. But, existential comedy that it might be. So you have that where, yeah, I think of the Stanley Parable. I think of any sort of game that has these sort of wide open spaces. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, any game that's sort of like a zombie apocalypse type of environment too, like Days Gone or The Last of Us. Like there'll be like these empty abandoned buildings, and there'll be these overgrown brush in places where there normally wouldn't be, or like where nature's taking over again. It's all those kind of vibes that you get from it. So this could be like you're exploring an abandoned building, or somebody was doing that, right? And you're watching their footage play back, and apparently the mic is relevant. Like, it was showing my mic volume. But no, like, I know the back rooms is a trend, and it's overdone and beaten to death. So it's like you've fallen down into here. You're moving, like, really awkwardly, though. Yeah, this is one of the images that you might see in that Liminal Spaces video, right? Like, this is a common thing, like an indoor... Not even like a pool, but with some little water on the ground. And of course, for me, I can't even swim in real life, so that would be an interesting place to go to. But I don't really fear water, and I'm sure I could figure it out if my life depended on it. But this could be like some, like, really, what kind of place is this? This is some like indoor place that you would go to swim and mess around. But why would you need this many rooms or this many different pools to it? Like, is there a real place like this, and why? Just this would solve the whole game too, if you literally just somehow jumped up there, did a little wall jump, right? That would solve the whole problem. Yeah, I don't know what the mechanics are going to be. We just get immersed in the environment, I guess. There might be all kind of Easter eggs and fun stuff to find. like click kind of to interact with that. This will like recover your energy, or it'll be like if something was chasing you, you might escape from it that way. It'll be some gimmicky jump scare horror shit, which it really doesn't need to be. That's the thing. The problem with these kind of games is they sometimes don't give you enough to do. Like there'll be stuff to collect, like Slender, the 8 pages or something. But you know, give us like a full, robust inventory or some other objectives instead of just kind of wandering around. And I've already made a meaningful plot choice. Why go down to the dark abyss here when you could just go up to the nice other area there? But like, are we really gonna die if I do it? Or something will jump out at you, but... Or yeah, see that shot is kind of a real classic. It's all dark here, but it's bright over there, so it makes you feel like, oh, the light at the end of the tunnel, so it'll bait you to go there or something like that. But no, this whole genre is arguably a gimmick, right? Whether it be the trend on YouTube or the back rooms or whatever. So it's not necessarily bad, but you know what I sometimes see is I'll see like the back rooms level 150, and it's not really from that, I don't think. But it'll be like someone imagining, oh, what level do you like the most? Or it'll, you know, some hypothetical level 500 and it's something crazy, right? It'd be cool if that actually was how the game is, that you go through all these different levels and there's really that many, right? And they take on a different form that way. We should play it like I would in real life. Like I can't swim, so I would avoid that for that reason, right? Not because I'm actually scared, but any sort of deep water I'm not going to fuck around with. Which, of course, there's an element of the unknown with that you don't know what's under there. Right, that you can't really see it super clearly. The lighting is pretty good. I mean, this kind of thing could just be like a tech demo or some sort of a, you know, way to show off the visuals. Or yeah, you know what game also I think of is the Cry of Fear, which was sort of like a fan-made free game that's like a horror game, and it had like some really good immersive atmospheric music. Water Corridor is a song that comes to mind. That's a really good one that I've listened to like while playing chess. Just a very ambient track. And you also have you know, like a movie with very little dialogue could fit into that too, like 2001: A Space Odyssey or Les Samurai, something like that. Or even along the, see, I don't know if dilly-dallying it would be the sort of thing that would hurt you, but this is the kind of game where it's perfect to do that. Pretend you're exploring this actual abandoned building with the light still on for some reason, which maybe takes away from it. It's one thing to get light from the outside, right? But the fact that you have electricity on like this, that kind of takes away from the fear factor. You'd be afraid of maybe getting arrested for trespassing or something then, but you can sprint, but you move like very odd. Like who walks like this? What, the guy's just taking it in, I guess. Just to kind of the way you could say who plays like this, where I'm just kind of walking back and forth. But no, what was I saying? Cry of Fear, where it has like atmospheric ambient tracks and a lot of visuals like that. You walk down a corridor that's starting to get flooded with water. That imagery is very similar. I feel like there's a lot of games that would have fit into this, but I can't think off the top of my head what that would be. This where you can kind of get immersed in the atmosphere. I feel like Metroid Prime even gives a vibe like that to a degree, where you know, you're in first person, but it's very atmospheric. Certain areas, Phendrana drifts, had a good you know, variety of environments to it. See, would you go through the dark corridor or the light corridor? I mean, I'm sure you can do it. And again, if I die once, the playthrough is over, and I just wasted $10, which is what this cost me, if even, you know, if there even is a failure state. The problem is it'll introduce something that you won't even know exactly how it works. Oh yeah, they love their slides in these kind of environments too, for some reason. Like a lot of stuff to do with kids, again, nostalgia. It'll be like some little play place, but that, oh, now as an adult, it seems creepy or something. You know, because there's like a double-edged aspect to that, where I don't know what exactly that's supposed to be. You could sit here and admire it for hours. He starts to breathe heavily when you sit down, which means that could be a mechanic where like, oh, you're trying to hide from something. Make it seem like you're a dead body just sitting here so it'll leave you alone. Maybe that's like the monster that's going to come after us, but it's a case where, yeah, like a little children's playpen that, oh, it's nice and innocent when you're a kid, but when you're older, oh, it's nefarious. And it's, there was this one video that's like, they're making a whole big thing about somebody's daycare, and it's like, oh, the creepiest places, right, on Google Maps, and they're coming up with all these theories and overthinking it. Like, dude, it's just a literal daycare. Like, they were way overdoing it. I remember. Right, there's a whole horror genre like that on YouTube. Top 10 scariest clips caught on camera, and it'll be just like some random object falling, and it's like, I wonder if a ghost did this, let me know in the comments. And it's like such a bait trash kind of thing where there's nothing really creepy about it, but they're just trying to embellish it and make something out of nothing. But no, this gives you almost like a purgatory vibe. Like, this is what happens when you die and go to heaven. You just end up in a place like this, and it has very little, except for the lights that kind of kill my immersion. 0 out of 10. Too many man-powered electric fucking lights. Right, the windows are cool, although I don't know exactly how high up we would be that the light would look like that, or like when would you ever on ground level would it look like that with the sun coming in the windows? And you can seemingly just jump out of them, so I don't know if that would kill you or what would happen with it. Okay, that's the first kind of little gimmicky moment where the ladder gets pulled up. This is just part of the immersive experience that we paid for. We want to be messed around with. Like, there's those really graphic haunted houses where they'll do very gross stuff to you, right, and potentially violent stuff, but you kind of consent to it. That I don't know why exactly you do that, but people do seek that out. Like, they'll do some really, really extreme things. And you sign off on it because apparently you're into that, or you want that kind of experience. Now, my character in RP can't swim, so I'm not gonna... We gotta get some little rubber ducky item that we could swim on, right, to unlock the ability to swim. I'll treat it like that. We're like John Marsden from Red Dead Redemption, where he fucking dies in one shot to swimming. That if you're playing the game for the first time, you wouldn't necessarily know that. So you could easily, get caught out in such a way that... imagine you're doing a permadeath first playthrough like I do with so many games, and oh shit, you try to go for a little swim and you die. Or that's even true in the older GTA games, like up to, I forget what the first one you could swim in is. Is it San Andreas or is it GTA 4? I mean, obviously you can swim in GTA 4, but I don't know. They definitely have the visuals down. I mean, I do like it. Or in fact, doing the settings kind of breaks your immersion, but I'm not sure I understand if the... Okay, I guess it is changing. See, it started on like 640, but it didn't look like this, so I don't know. It was like bugging out. It was on the correct resolution maybe, but it kind of just didn't say it or something. But yeah, that's the only thing I changed. I feel like the FOV and even the camera sensitivity and stuff might be intentional by the game. Like, it adds to the vibe, or like the found footage element. I'm not somebody who's very easily scared, but I guess this sort of fits into my... that horror game gauntlet that I was trying to do with all the mic enabled stuff too. The one thing I'm not getting is the mic aspect. I thought that it was, break my immersion again, but footstep panning. I don't understand what this is though. Like, does that mean my mic is supposed to be, or does that mean his voice, like his breathing? Like, if I go back in the chair and sit down, I think it's that, actually, because it's not showing me any sort of feedback of my mic. The comfort that you would always have is you could always go back, right? Like, whatever's going to happen to you is going to happen forward. They're not going to randomly scare you from behind to somewhere you've already been, because they wouldn't expect you to go there and sort of pace back and forth the way that I do. I'm actually the perfect kind of person to play this kind of game, because it'll look at how much time I'm getting out of it. That nobody would do this, right? You'd want something to happen, or you'd want... I'm just satisfied with just whatever, randomly going around and being like super completionist, and I'll definitely get my $10 worth out of it, and I'll probably make, like, I got 4 episodes worth out of that one game. Don't knock twice, even though I was just kind of wandering around and rambling. I guess part of that you could say is, oh, it's because I'm streaming, but not really, even, because I would be super methodical and, bumping up against the chair pretty hard there. Oh, what? It's not going to let me sit now? No, I guess it's not then. You could hear him breathing a little bit. I don't get it. Or maybe it just gives you like one little thing there. I'm very confused as to what this option is, because does that mean my mic's like not working properly or what? If it's meant to do that, or they'll maybe introduce that in a different, I don't know. Because for somebody who's actually talking into a mic, it seems fitting that you should have to deal with that, or maybe it's unfair. And the one way that I would point to it is the fact that I don't even feel like running, even though you can, or you can crouch too. You know, maybe it's unfair because you're giving a running commentary, because I'm not the type of person to really scream or anything like that, right? Like, if I was alone not streaming, why would I, you know, I'm not going to laugh out loud to a comedy, or I'm not going to scream to a horror thing, or I'm not going to, you know, really react audibly. I'm not the type of person to do that. But at least here, I'll at least give commentary relating to it. I like how the lighting sort of goes for, it's like a clear separation of biomes type of thing. How does it go from so bright to so dark in such a narrow kind of, you know, orientation like that? And you'll get lost. I wonder if you can save it even. Right, like I'd have to complete this level, I guess, 1 out of 6. But I also wouldn't want to rush, so I guess maybe I could restart if I had to, but as long as I don't die. Is this going to be like a super big area that you can get lost in, and you kind of almost want to? Right, it's going to feel like you've already been here. A little atmosphere, like an ASMRist could play this game where you're, you know, embracing the sound of the water and everything. If I did my old school whispery voice, I guess that would be better, but I can't really do it at will anymore. Or yeah, like I said, I'm trying to avoid swimming. Can you beat the pools without swimming challenge? Right, that's basically what I'm trying to do. Can you beat pools, the game, without ever going into the deep water, where we actually see the swimming animation? And no running or no kids? I can't tell what that's supposed to represent. So this is like the big area that we had gotten to before. And this seems like a pretty sadistic thing to jump into, or the water is just missing. Like, oh yeah, jump on that and jump down and see how far you can go. What is this? The only real kind of like jump scare-ish thing that we've seen, not that it really was, but it's just the ladder getting pulled away. So it could just be a human messing with us, like we've gotten stuck in here and oh, it's just a prank. Oh, there's the rubber ducky that we should be allowed to use to go through the water. Or maybe you actually need that, unironically. But it won't even let me get that far. Right, like without potentially swimming. I wonder if you actually could interact with that. Can I make it far enough without? I'm gonna break my rule. I don't feel like I'm swimming though. Damn it. I should be allowed to at least do it for this much, assuming that you can interact with it. What? Or I guess I'm still standing on this. Right, like I'm sort of wading in the water, but I'm not really. Or I guess it's not really that deep anyway. You could potentially walk through. Alright, I sort of semi-broke the rule just because I wanted to see if I could interact with that and use that. That's literally what I just said, too. The game is listening to me. That's the mic feature, and it's adapting to what I'm saying. Like, I just mentioned the fact that, you know, oh, we gotta find a rubber duck item and use that to swim around because I'm too much of a pussy coward to do it on my own. So we're going back to that big corridor area. Let's embrace the darkness a little bit. We're scared of the water. We're scared of the dark. We're scared of everything. Yeah, you would think after hearing that you might go the other way around, but... Or go back. I don't know what sitting in these chairs is really meant to do, but... yes, the good old entertainment before we had modern technology. Let's look at a clock. I don't know what happens around objects like this. Like, I'm trying to sit down and it wasn't working. I was clicking. The time does advance. And we got the Exorcist vibe going on, that we're the real scary force here, where we fucking turn our head a whole 360. Or a 180. So I wonder if this time would advance in a realistic way, like if it'll always do this. So it's 12 o'clock. Oh, that does seem kind of accurate to real life even. Like, you know, it's going second by second. You could keep coming back to this to see how much time has passed and maybe different. Was that something that was looking at me, or I couldn't tell? It almost looked like I saw some eyes or something. You'll start just imagining it, or it's just like a glare or something. When it gets so dark, you do have problems with that, because now I can't tell if I'm really going into the water or not. We need a flashlight item then if the rubber duck wasn't good enough for us to keep. You would think that might be a good survival mechanism though too. If you can't see what's under the water and you're kind of more helpless there, you might want to avoid it for that reason. So I guess in RP we could justify it too. But I'm just doing that as sort of like an additional condition. Getting like this weird static sound more now. Yeah, this would be a very suicidal venture to go under. I don't know why you'd want to do it. But maybe you'll discover Easter eggs or something by doing that. Or yeah, we could try to trick the monster if it's chasing us to fall down into one of these areas. Okay, so we've gone to most of the areas from this big corridor. There'll be all these kind of slides and weird stuff. This reminds me of some Half-Life 2 mod that I played that was maybe sort of like this, where it's more like about puzzle solving, and I guess I wouldn't mind trying to go in that, but you'd have to like crouch, and but wait, you can't even jump, so maybe it's just not that deep. I don't know, at some point I'm gonna feel like I really have to swim. Like, I'm sure you could go through that. I should be allowed to do it to this extent. Like, at least, okay, I'm going from here to here, so I'm not really swimming. What? Okay. Wait, am I bugging it out? I can't move. Well, that's what we get for trying to swim, but I'm trying to get up on this. It seems like you would go through it and crouch. What a waste if you can't do that. So when you hit control here, you go under and... Okay, dude. I'm gonna drown. This is what I get for trying to swim and break my rule. I don't get it. You literally get stuck. But no, I was trying to go into that thing, which seemed intuitive and like made sense. Maybe you can't drown, which would be a shitty mechanic. You should be able to. Right, like what am I, Michael Blaine or whatever, David Blaine? What the fuck? How did I get out of it the first time? I think I literally broke it and bugged it out. So you're not supposed to crouch or go under there, which is kind of our punishment for, I don't get it. Why did that happen for so long? And how did we not die from drowning or something? Whatever. What did that sign say? Oh. It's so weird. I'm seeing things. It was part of the glare, I guess. Okay, so let's see how much we can do without swimming. Again, like, you know what I mean by swimming. Like, that would have just been me reaching over to that object, right? Whereas this is not like actually swimming across the whole body of water. And you can't jump, so these railings are going to be kind of weird. We just went through here. This is kind of going backwards. That's where the ladder got pulled out. It'll be a world's first clear challenge. Beat the game without going in the water at all, which I still kind of have, but it's gonna be impossible though. I kind of like the idea of playing it like this though, within some rule set. Or at least we'll do this first, and then maybe we can unlock the ability somehow. See, this doesn't look like a hallway, right? This looks like one of those just filled with light, but then this turns into the same place again. Yeah, you can very easily get lost in this kind of experience. I imagine that... Okay, where haven't I been? I went through here. I think this is where we found the rubber duck. You need sort of monuments to, you know, distinguish where you're going. Damn it. It's always this water that is cucking me, though. I'm never going to make any progress like this. The true hard mode challenge. Play a game that's filled with nothing but water. With only... This is like make your own fun kind of mindset. Play a game that's filled with water and don't interact with the water. That was nothing. I went through here. Trying to see like where maybe haven't I been? Is it really advancing that much too? So we'll play until like 1 o'clock. It almost seems a little bit slower than real life. I like when games do that, especially like MMOs where like if you play the game at night, it'll be night in you know, in the game. That can mess you up if it's a different time zone kind of server, or maybe it'll be depressing because like, oh, you come home and it's always night. You know, like you want to see it in the daytime sometimes, but you can't because you never get to play in the day. But whatever, I like when it simulates like real time. I guess I could go back. Maybe there were some places I hadn't gone to at the beginning. Again, not that you're really meant to play it like this, but this is where there was that thing. So there's a number of places I could go to, obviously, by going through the water. Yeah, this guy moves really weirdly. Like, he's slow and stiff, but at the same time, he's, I don't know. Okay, like, we could go through here where it's all dark, but is it gonna lead to the water or what? No, it leads up. I guess it wasn't as dark as I was expecting either. Like, give me some sort of objective or some inventory or counter or, you know, there's nothing to it besides just exploring that I can't really measure. Right, like what... Any sort of goal or anything we're keeping track of. The electricity bill in this place is going to be a nightmare. Or maybe it's not. Maybe those are just holes in the roof. They just look like lights. They could just be holes in the roof and it's just really bright outside of it. But it's sort of in an unnatural way. I mean, even this looks like a light. But maybe it's not. It's hard to tell whether it's that or it's just a hole. Okay, this one's definitely a light because it's protruding out. That ruins the whole illusion and everything. So let's go back and see if there was some other way I could have gone, and I'm sure there was. I'm just too scared to go in the water, so this is what the whole experience is gonna be like. But just in RP, my character's scared, not that I really am. Let's see if we can alt tab out. Good, it doesn't suffer from the Bethesda problem. Yeah, some of them are maybe light, some of them are windows. This is something you can't really even go down into, right? Because you can't jump. But yeah, like the dust on your screen and everything gets magnified and it gets a glare because when a game is so dark, right? And even on stream, it might appear darker than what, you know, objects may appear darker than they really are. In like, what is this, bro? What is this? I can't see. What? Well, I don't know what I'm looking at. I mean, it's completely dark there. This is oh, I mean, it is giving you sort of a map, but so we're just like a rat in a maze. But where are we right now then? Assuming we're trying to follow that, I wouldn't even really want to use a map. But when it presents it in an organic way like this, like it's actually in the world, right? And somebody has gone through the trouble to make that for you, right? That at least feels more realistic that you would use that. Whereas it's an analogy for life, though. It's about the experience, not the destination. So maybe we don't want to go out of here, but it's a case where the solution, just carry like a expandable ladder in your back pocket. Even if it'd be a little heavy or whatever, but that's what I always say in like Zelda games or something, like, oh, you solve the whole temple just to get up like 10 feet, where if you just had like a ladder or something with all the magic and hook shots and crazy shit that you have. This is where you started. Was there somewhere I didn't go from here, like because it was all dark or something? We're gonna get an achievement for sitting in every single chair that we come across. This is also in the water. So I think I've exhausted pretty much everywhere that I could go without going in the water. So maybe now I should unlock that feature, like, I guess. Otherwise it's no fun. Right, you're not going to be able to do anything else. And so I fear nothing now. Right, I don't even care about the map. I'll just go everywhere and eventually go to the right place. But I want to be a completionist and explore every single, you know, avenue that you can, even though there's nothing really defined. Right, they could do a little better job with that. So at least I had to unlock the ability to swim by you know, under this circumstance, if you're stuck in here forever, you could learn how to swim. I wonder if you could actually just jump out of this, and I don't want to find out if that's going to kill me, but it looks like it means don't run, but it could also just mean no kids, because that looks like a little kid. But yeah, this is the kind of game that should maybe be free, because it doesn't feel really worth $10, and maybe it was more originally. It's a cute little idea, but yeah, how does the lighting change that drastically? Why is it so dark in here, and then as soon as I go in, it becomes bright? Like, I like that in games, your character, never mind a flashlight or any other apparatus, your character is literally a moving source of light, right? Where there's a light that like follows you, even if it's completely dark otherwise. Although I guess maybe not so much here. I'm moonwalking, that's how confident I am. Now, this is surely the place we've been to before. That's with the map. Okay, I just don't want to miss any potential flavor. Like, I don't want to miss a special chair or something that we could come across. The way you swim almost feels like you're just walking too. It doesn't really change your body's position, right? Like, it literally felt like I just continue walking in the water like I'm Jesus or something, but I'm not walking on the water either. It just doesn't properly, you know, feel different at all. This is only the first level, so you wouldn't think that you could really die even if you can, but there's been nothing really scary that's happened. I mean, I can't see anything. I'm assuming I'm moving, but it's stopped now. Ominous music. Was that something that I triggered in there, or this will turn into like the water temple from Ocarina of Time, where you keep changing the water levels? I don't know what happened there. It makes me want to go back, but I mean, some of these places, I'm assuming you're not meant to see what's really there. Okay. Like, maybe I hit a switch and that did something? Like, I have no idea. But that would even let you know that you're going the right way, that you see the ladder interaction happen and everything like that. We got to play on the slides and everything. Like, maybe this is the whole trick. This character wants to be here forever and enjoy this, and you know, you'd never run out of water to drink, but you would run out of food. You'll catch some fish underneath here or some shit. So you can actually dive down by doing that, as we discovered sort of by accident. Oh, you can even sprint while swimming. Yeah, it didn't seem like you could drown, which is odd. You would think the swimming doesn't feel like swimming. It feels like walking in a game where this is the whole primary mechanic. So you couldn't get that one thing right, and you can't drown, even though that should be a big thing. Or there'll be some secret passageway that you can only see when you do that underwater. Some of these areas are just a little bit too dark. But then I feel like I'm cheating by turning my brightness up. I love that when Asmongold's playing Dark Souls, and then it does seem too dark for him, but then McConnell even says, it's called Dark Souls, dude. You can't change the brightness. Like, bro. It's such a troll, stupid way to look at it. Oh yeah, like that's part of the difficulty. I think I sort of did that too because I felt bad for changing it. So I maybe played it on a little bit too dark of a setting. Yeah, you get jump scared by a little rubber ducky. That could literally solve all your problems if you just go and, just ride that to freedom. Or use that as like a guinea pig sort of thing. This guy's not resourceful at all. If you just... But now I feel like I'm going backwards. Ride that to freedom in the sense that, or I mean, use it as a thing. Like, so if you're afraid to jump down somewhere, throw that, and then you'll be able to measure from there or something. Okay, we'll try to go through. I'm getting stuck a little. This looks a little different of an entryway, like it looks smaller. So this might be the exit. I can't see anything. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you see a little light now, but there are these moments where you can't see shit. This looks like it could be the exit. Definitely, it looks very different than the rest of it. This looks kind of cool. Like, if I knew how to swim, actually, I would want to go to a place like this in real life, which I don't know why or what it is exactly. You could say, oh, it's just a building with a bunch of pools, but it feels so superfluous. Like, why do you need this many? Why does it have to be this elaborate? Oh, come on, this has got to be an endpoint. Right, like, this is way too in its own world to not be. Oh, shit. At least we get some environment variety. Or you could go down in the slide, but I don't want to because I feel like that's just where we already saw somewhere else. Or maybe not. Probably just have to crouch in there. I assume it'll just come out, but it seems sort of unnecessary to even do that. What? Don't tell me this is a dead end. This guy's such a clown that he loses to a fucking rail because he can't jump over it. Well, since this might be the last thing we ever see if we get killed by some unknown thing, let's enjoy one last slide for the win. Something to remember us by, or we could just keep doing it over and over. Surely they would have put this mechanic in there because why else would they put these slides? You can go in from this angle, but not the other way. Like if I wanted to try to climb up the other one. So I'm not even touching anything, so it's doing it on its own. Okay, that was kind of cute, I guess. Dude, I just somehow detach one of these ladders, which I'm sure is harder than it looks. But detach that and then use that to get out, right? Wouldn't that be the whole solution? But obviously it's going to be very strongly affixed in there. So what you would do is you'd have to jump down from a very high distance and jump onto it to break it with adequate force, or throw that rubber ducky at it. You gotta always, in a survival situation, look for other things you can use as tools, which in this kind of environment, it feels like you could break one of the lights and maybe use something in there. Not that I'm creative enough to do that, but you know, a game character will just resign themselves to their fate. You can't be creative with that at all. Put Neil deGrasse Tyson or some shit in here and he'll break the light and create some fucking tool, right, and start a fire and do all this kind of crazy crap. Like some people are just waiting their whole lives for a moment like this, where they have all this useless knowledge saved up or other life skills that they never get a chance to use. I like this part because it's very disorienting and you could easily get lost. Where it just seems endless, or, you know, you can't tell where you're coming from or you're going. You would think I would have gone in the right way, though, because those areas were so different looking. You know, there could be some secret path under the water when you think you're at a dead end. Yeah, we need like an ASMRist to do this game and just literally, you know, get immersed in it in that way. You kind of become grateful just to see anything at all when you... Oh, now you can play around with it. When you see anything different. Oh, did I mess it up? Now we got hard locked, or we can push it from the other side, I guess. Assuming that we need it to solve some sort of puzzle, and I'm not just doing it for the fuck of it. Right, if you go from this way, it'll fit through that side, I guess. Yeah, I can use this as like a shield for anything. If something bad is coming up, it'll hit this first at least. I don't know that you'd really need to use this, but at least it's a fun and different mechanic. This is why you should play this game. 10 out of 10. You can play with a rubber duck that's almost just as big as you, and let it protect you from whatever ominous... What the fuck is that? Weird physics interaction. Now we got to carry this to the end, right? This is like the Wilson effect. You'll be here in sensory deprivation for so long that you'll make friends with like a little fucking soccer ball, the same way that I would do it here with the duck. I won't leave this place without you. Oh, come on, it's gonna get stuck. I don't know how it flipped over like that. That was a weird moment. Damn it. We could go maybe from the other side. Makes you wonder about the temperature of the water, like how cold is it? Oh, come on. Fucking, he died for a good cause, I guess. It's like when Forsen tries in Half-Life 2, I think, where he tries to bring some buggy car with him the whole way over some stretch. I remember some clip like that. Or maybe not even the car. He tries to bring one of the Combine vehicles with him along the whole path as you're going to that one town with the lighthouse. Because you want to push the limits and see how far you can go with something like that. Oh, I'm going backwards. If you see a rubber duck, you know you're going... Wait, what? How did I go that far back, though? Wait, that doesn't even seem right, though. I thought... Maybe that is somewhere different. Yeah, this makes it feel like an endless loop area. Yeah, because we got the duck from totally the other side. It's gonna be a little frustrating, actually, after a while, that you get kind of stuck and you're doing the same thing over and over. If you like the water temple and Ocarina of Time, play this shit, but... Oh, is that a bait, or is that actually... I think that since this is the first level, it'd be probably pretty nice to me. This will be your final destination, alright. Am I supposed to be encouraged by that, or what? I mean, look, dude. Was that somebody else escaping, or was that... What the fuck are you doing? Go. I don't care, even if there is a hand in there or something. What's he doing? Why can't you interact with anything? We'd have to like go around maybe, or maybe that was a sign that that's not a good place to go, or now it's changed. Like it's a bait, but I fell for the bait because I was so desperate to get out. I don't care. Like, it's not like he pulled the ladder down with him. He just fucking went down himself. So fine, I'll follow his lead. Like, if that was a failure state, I would have fallen for it. Just because you see some zesty looking hands going down a ladder doesn't mean you can't do the same. What? Like I'm a germaphobe? I gotta wash my hands in the water before I feel worried about, you know, willing to go down there. Isn't this so much more fun than Marvel Rivals that I just played yesterday for the first time, which it felt a little bit generic would be my thoughts on it. Like, it's not bad, but I even did like a survey that they asked me to do of it as I was playing it to like give a review. What is the point of that fucking ladder up there? You got to sit in every chair just because of it. There's going to be a mimic chair like in Dark Souls where, oh, I predicted a mimic bonfire, and then one of them is actually like an NPC. Right, that was something I said from very early on in the series. Like, oh, there's mimic chests like in Castlevania. So how long you bet before there's going to be a mimic bonfire or something, you know, something else. What is this? Is it going to be like a tightrope moment? Oh, shit. Don't look down. I wonder if you could actually fall off. Right, like I haven't been able to anywhere else. I'm having trouble really seeing anything though, I will admit. I gotta clean my screen or some shit. Or is this actually the escape, or is this gonna kill me? Because, I mean, you'll fall in the water, assuming that, oh, that would break your fall and you'd survive. But in reality, you would die from a fall high enough, right? Even if it was into the water. I don't know what's happening. Is this gonna be like the second level then? And how would you have fallen into this? That doesn't even make any sense. Right, you would have fallen into water that was at least deep enough to break your fall, assuming that it still wouldn't kill you. I assume this is like level 2 then? All you would have needed is a fucking ladder, bro, and you could have climbed out at the beginning. But no, I like how I got baited by that hand moment. Was that supposed to be scary, or like what was that supposed to be? Where, you know, I'm trying to go down, but it wouldn't let me interact, so I guess I technically didn't die there, assuming there even is a way to die. Like, let's see if we quit out, or that will that close the whole game? Okay, so that at least assumes that you start there, so that's a good checkpoint. I may or may not play this again, but it was a cool atmospheric vibe. I like it, but I don't know what all is going to happen as you go on, but these games need to give you more of a sense of an objective. Learn that from Slender the 8 Pages or Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning, right? Like, whatever to extent that that matters. But the point is that give us some objective like that, or give us some other inventory or other mechanics to worry about, like even Amnesia, right? Which I only played briefly, but Amnesia has the sanity meter. It has some other mechanics to worry about, maybe like a health meter or something. So give us other things like that. Give us some survival mechanics. Give us something to collect. Give us something else to worry about, right? Those are all things that you could do pretty well. So yeah, I was just doing this as a one-off. The other game I bought just now, again, on Steam was, or I mean, whatever. I bought this for $10. But no, I wanted to go back, and I did like this randomizer list where, right, there's like these 20 games. Maybe I should look at that briefly. So I did a randomizer in which I was able to pick like a list of 20 games, and I randomized them, and technically the first one at the top of the list was Marvel Rivals, just by sheer chance, even though I was kind of planning on playing it maybe anyway. So let me actually show you what they came out to be. I'll have to recreate it, I guess, because I didn't save it, but I did it on stream there. What is it? Word. Wait, why is it showing up? I'm looking at WordPad and it's showing me like in a I don't know. Like I don't have the program anymore. Like they took it away. Fucking what the hell happened? Weird. Probably some shitty Windows update. But no, I have a list of like 20 games that I did a list randomizer, so it put them in a different order. So I could follow that. Not saying I have to play everything on there in a direct order, but it means that what is going on? They actually did. Somehow a Windows update took WordPad away from my computer. What a shitty thing. Bro, are you serious? Oh, I don't know what's going on. Well, here, I'll just try to show you in some other way, I guess. Just, okay, bro, what is going on? Okay, here, I'll just do it like in a fucking browser then, since Windows wants to fuck me over and steal a program. So number 1 was Marvel Rivals. Number 2 was... Bro. I'll just open like 20 tabs, bro. Okay, so number 1 was Marvel Rivals. Number 2 was Trinova/Similar, right? Some other similar game to that. That's something I've seen ads for. WoW Plus was number 3. Video Game Anthology, which means chess, that I was doing, like playing chess video games. Then number 5 was Square Off, which is that board that I have that I could play, but not using with chess or chess.com anymore. Emily Wants to Play was part of the horror game Mike kind of gauntlet that I was doing. Arc 2 or 1.5, which I wouldn't even really want to play, but I mean, I guess I'll abide by this to some extent. Number 8 was BitLife. Number 9 was a PC port of games that I played on other consoles, like either could be Red Dead, could be Last of Us, could be Detroit. Right, that I've just never played on that other form, or I guess this one is Red Dead itself, so that would be separate. Number 11 is Roblox. Number 12 is Dragon Ball. Some Dragon Ball game, maybe Sparking Zero, maybe some older one, whatever. Mods. And then website Gauntlet. Like to do with chess, or I guess could be other like Flash games or something. No, I guess it was to do with chess, like ICC and stuff. Some of that I can't even do yet because I have to wait till 6 months since I last did it, and I feel like it's been 5 months, so I have to wait a little bit longer. GTA Online, Social Deduction Games Gauntlet, new game Permadeath Gauntlet, which I'll wait till like February to do. Fortnite, OG, or maybe even just the current thing. Flex would be the offline game soon, and then 20th would be Liminal Spaces. Oh, I guess I already broke that rule then. Like, I didn't realize this would actually be one of the entries, but whatever. It's not like I have to do it in a strict fashion, but yeah, I really don't know what the hell happened to WordPad, honestly. Does that mean all my documents that would have been in WordPad form would be... I'm so confused. So here, let me just show you this, and then I'll decide what to do among them. Or I could kind of go in order, I guess. Let me see here. So we did Rivals already, so we at least introduced that. Oh, what is that? What the hell has happened there? Yeah, we could do Trinova. I kind of want to go in order because that's how I randomized it, but I also don't know. Right, so this is going to be PC ports, then Red Dead, then Roblox, then Dragon Ball. Roblox could be for chess purposes too. Mods of some game. I should actually do this in some form, right? Sort of touch base with each of these. I just kind of did that already. And our transitional spaces, they can feel like unsettling or eerie. They can be physical, psychological, or emotional. Can occur between 2 different states or locations. WoW Plus, I'm not even sure really what is happening with that. Archon, the Dark, and the Light. 1983 video game. What is this? Free Fall Associates. It's superficially similar to chess. Instead of fixed rules, an arcade-style fight takes place to determine it. Really? I've never even heard of this. But yeah, video game, that could be one of them that's sort of inspired. Playable chess in video games. Hogwarts Legacy, you have it. Oh, you're kind of spoiling something about Hogwarts Legacy. So yeah, we could do that. What else did I want to do? Like some other. Yeah, but this is based on the list randomizer that I did, so I guess I'll sort of respect that if I do it in that order. Although technically, I already did that liminal space thing unexpectedly. Yeah, I could go back and try to finish series 2 that I started like on my old channel in a way that, I've kind of forgotten about. So whatever, I just wanted to look at that, and I don't know if that was a substantial enough session. At least I did the first level. I did sort of a Marvel Snap finale. I'm just kind of going all over the place with random stuff. Like I don't have any clear, fixed thing that I'm trying to do. So what was something else I wanted to look at? Just, oh yeah, Duelist 2 I keep talking about. I almost owe it to try that again. Right, I wanted to make a series of that, and then I got distracted by PvZ Heroes in my card game slot. I got to do a finale for Magic Arena at some point, but I obviously haven't played it in a while. Or like I try to get Mythic, and if I fail, then I have to delete my account or whatever. And then Hearthstone, I was just kind of keeping an eye on the Ner'zhul fucking hero thing. If they release it for Death Knight, I'd really want to do that. And then I also wanted to do something with the Rogue, Demon Hunter, and Death Knight as far as the 3 classes that I didn't do as part of my Gimmick Gauntlet series. And then also I had, I don't know, there's so many different formats I could do, so I'm trying to make lists out of them, basically. Hearthstone Finale Gauntlet, but no, Duelist 2 is a good idea. And I could keep alternating and maybe doing those ones as well. At least I did an intro episode for Rivals. I could continue it maybe at some point, but I don't have to make a committed series out of it. And then, wasn't Path of Exile on that list? How could it not have been? Hold on. I thought I had put those on there. I guess not. I mean, because I already did an intro episode of it. So technically, I did that for my January new game Permadeath first playthrough gauntlet that I'm doing. Every month I'm trying to do one game, right, that just came out. Technically, that came out in December, but that's effectively what I'm going to do for this month. Because, whatever, I didn't even look at what came out this month, so I'm not going to worry about it. So February, I'll do something. I usually do it around the middle of the month, but so basically November, I did Slitterhead, and I only did 2 episodes of it, but not because I even died, but just because, whatever, it doesn't mean I have to do the whole game, although I was sort of intending to try to do it on a regular basis. So November, I did Slitterhead, first playthrough Permadeath, 2 episodes. December, I did Indiana Jones, obviously first playthrough Permadeath, 2 episodes, even though I did die in that. So I kind of made it where I just have to reset, but that's like a hybrid format. Whereas Slitterhead is meant to be like, if I die, it's all over in one life is all I get. Then I can't play it anymore, period, for at least 6 months to a year. Whereas Indiana Jones, I got another multiple tries. Just I have to restart the game every time I die, but I can try it as many times as I want just to show that as an alternate format. Of course, I died on purpose. Wink, wink. But so then January was Path of Exile 2, which that is a different hybrid as well. So I did that to demonstrate all the 3 kind of first playthrough permadeaths that I could potentially do, right? November Slitterhead means it's a raw permadeath sense. It's the first playthrough permadeath, which means if I die, it's over. I can't play for 6 months, and I have to delete the game, and just, the series is over, right? So if I die, it's over. December with Indiana Jones means I can die as many times as I want, but I just have to delete the file, start over at the beginning of the game every time I die. Right, so I can, not that the series is over, but just that file is over, and after a while, if you get halfway through the game and die, then you have to start at the beginning. So it would obviously be very annoying, but you get as many tries as you want. And then with January, Path of Exile 2 is going to be a case where you have, it's a class permadeath, so I played as like the warrior class, and then I died, so then I can't play as them ever again, right? That character gets deleted out of existence. So I get one life per each class, right? Kind of like what I would do in an MMO. So every time I die, I have to delete the character, start as a new class, and then when I run out, the playthrough would be over that way. So that's kind of the different dynamics of permadeath first playthroughs that I have. And yeah, okay, see you later.